Hello, my name is Bailey J. Charles, and my speech will be over human population growth and the amount of arable farmland we have, and it will be presented in problem-solution format. The human population is around 7.4 billion right now, and the UN predicts it to grow to around 9.7 billion by the year 2050. However, the Guardian reports that we've lost around 33% of the arable farmland in the world. This causes a problem because the world is a finite size and the amount of arable land we have in it is a finite size. So if the human population continues to grow and the amount of land we're able to farm on shrinks, that causes problems. This leads me into the Green Revolution, which is characterized by practices and techniques that have allowed humans to increase the amount of food per acre that's produced by around three times. This has led to people actually being able to feed themselves and currently be able to overproduce. The reason we still have starvation and malnutrition around the world is because of economics and politics, which play into how the food is distributed and where it's most economically used and how people will spend time to do it. The Green Revolution's farming techniques have also led to techniques that help preserve the arability of the land. These techniques are shown in no-till farming methods using shelter belts and intercropping. No-till farming is when after you harvest the crop, you leave the leftover plant mass on the field. And the way this works is because the plant mass acts as a way of holding down the soil there. It covers and protects it from wind and rain and erosion. It also helps replenish the soil because as those plant mass decays, it adds nutrients back into the soil. No-till intercropping is when you use one farmland and you grow many different crops on it, much like with the mines where you had corn, squash, and beans all growing on the same plot. And shelter belts is basically when you have the farm field and you know how you have the grass surrounding the farm field. Basically, instead of like trimming and keeping that up, you kind of create a hill like, and you have shrubs and trees there. And basically, when wind and erosion try to beat the land, the shrubs and the trees, they protect the soil. They protect the soil by the trees and the shrubs taking most of the brunt work. This helps create a solution to the problem of arable soil because even though it's helping, the soil will replenish itself with time, but replenishable resources is on a spectrum, with the sun and the energy it produces on one end of the spectrum being almost instantaneously, and fossil fuels on the other years taking thousands of years to replenish. Soil is towards the left end of this graph. It will replenish itself with time, but the more you destroy it, the longer it takes. And this is because the soil works as an ecosystem within itself. You have organisms that live and die there, and when you disrupt it, you disrupt and destroy the ecosystem, changing the soil. And by using these methods and allowing the soil to try to repair itself along with other methods, this will help keep the soil we have and preserve it. Thank you.